Cannabis Institute. We're very glad today to have our guest, Paul Castle, with us. Paul is an agribusiness entrepreneur who was born and raised here in Ohio and has spent over 20 years as an expert in the cannabis industry. Paul is retired as a grower in 2013 and has spent the last 4 years helping the efforts to legitimize legal medical cannabis here in Ohio. We're very excited to have Paul with us. Welcome, Paul.
Good afternoon, Fred. How are you?
Very well, thanks. And excited to have you here today. I understand you're going to be joining us on a regular basis.
It'll be my honor, and we're going to do our best.
That's right. Paul is going to be starting the 420 Ag Report here on the Ohio Cannabis Network, and you'll look forward to hearing his very insightful and sometimes
Colorful views.
Colorful views. Well said. Well said. Well, let's start it. We've got some questions we want to ask you. We want to know a little bit about you, and what we're doing today is really an introductory video for Paul to help him get exposed to you all, so that when he has his 420 report, you'll know him a little better. It's always nice to put the person behind the face, right? So, Paul, that's what we hope to do today. And I know you know a lot about the cannabis business. I know you know a lot about agribusiness. I know you're a very successful businessman in your own right. And what makes a man like you want to come and produce this 420 Ag Report?
I want to get some information out to the people and help them understand better of what's coming, basically. Because if you want to try to succeed at this, you have to be in front of the train.
Right.
If you try to catch up on the back end, you're going to be lost and left behind at the station. And I hate to see people not be informed and educated on this project to where they won't have a chance to succeed at it.
Very nice. Very good.
It's just shameful that everybody that you see wants $1,500 come to our seminar, and it's crazy.
It is crazy.
But there's some programs that are probably very useful, and then there's some that are probably just hokum, because everybody's after the end game is the dollar.
That's right. That's right.
And it's an evil thing, but it's a necessity. And I understand being a capitalist, everybody's got to make money.
Well, yeah. So, yeah. There's those that make it or those that take it. Right?
Exactly. You're either, you're a big fish or you're a little fish. Big fish eat little fish. So.
And as part of the 420 Ag Report, I understand you're going to be bringing some topical things to us, as well as pricing and strategies in
exactly.
Maybe influences. Right now, there are industry trends that are impacting the cannabis industry. How do you see them impacting Ohio's medical marijuana program?
Well, it's like the ancillary businesses. Everybody's thinking, I can't participate because I have to either be a cultivator, a processor, or a dispensary owner. Well, you as a small business advocate, you could understand this a little better when there's so many ancillary businesses that have to be involved to make these other succeed.
Right.
You're going to have medical transport to get it from point A to point B, from the processor to dispensary. So there's going to be movements for that as a delivery company. What about wheelchair-bound patients that can't get to a dispensary? You're going to have pharmacy techs be able to drive that prescription, just like a CVS or your local mom and pop, pharmacist.
Right.
They all offer some kind of delivery service for their customers. And trash, maintenance, ground maintenance. There's a whole bunch of ancillary businesses. We could spend hours just talking about that.
Right.
I mean,
and those businesses will benefit from the report.
Exactly.
Because as the report gives pricing, gives trends, those businesses will see where it's going. Right.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
And it's a wonderful thing that can generate jobs and tax revenue for the state that really needs it. With all the stores that are closing right now, Payless, not JCPenney, it's Payless, Kmart, all these jobs are going away.
Right.
So we need something in the state to boost that economy back up,
We absolutely
to
do.
make it a great state again. I always have been Ohio. I've moved away, always come back to home, and it's like, man, it's just discouraging to see how it's falling apart at
Right.
times. It's opioid addiction. You got people just without jobs, families living in cars. It's just crazy,
is
crazy.
crazy. You know, you have a history and a great deal of experience in the knowledge necessary to cultivate. And my understanding is there are somewhere around 3,000 growers in this state with similar knowledge who have spent years studying, knowing the best methodologies to grow the right types of plants for whatever purpose, right? Medical purpose, right? Well, these 3,000 right now are underground, and I happen to believe that they would love an opportunity to come above ground, be legitimate business people,
Exactly.
pay
their taxes.
pay their taxes,
Mhm.
be honored and honorable in their own communities. These people have really pioneered through all the propaganda, through all of the persecution and
Yeah.
prosecution, pioneered a drug for us that is extremely beneficial, and for us to not consider their value to our state is criminal, in my opinion. But regardless, what do you see the future of them being?
I see the small grower that probably only done 10 plants. Let's call him the mom and pop grower.
Right.
He's not a commercial grower. He's not dealing with the cartels. He's not dealing with 10,000 pounds of marijuana he's trying to get rid of. But let's call him the mom and pop grower. I see them, they're already pillars of your community. You may
Sure.
not even know they do this, but they're doing it. They're doing it not only for their own medical needs, but they have a friend or a family member that has a medical need.
Right.
And they're the ones that should be looking at branding, because they're doing a selection that maybe they're the only ones doing that selection. And if you've done it long enough, you get into the genetics, and then it's just like making roses. I want a rose that's not so red and add some white. And you do the same thing with cannabis. So you can, through your genetic breeding, you can measure out the THCs, the CBDs, and what works for you as an individual instead of 500 people. You can brand that as a marketing brand and start legitimately seeing it generate revenue.
So what you're saying is you actually see a process where the growers in the state can come above ground, can take their
knowledge and their skills.
Their knowledge and skills, but not only that, but the strain that maybe they've been developing for generations or what have you. Maybe it's a family thing. Maybe, who knows, right?
Maybe they had a strain that nobody else in the state or in the country has seen because they haven't really messed with it. It's still a pure breed. They haven't bastardized it by making all these hybrids.
Right.
And that could be a brand on its own. It's pure.
Yes.
It's not been messed with. It's not been bred out of existence. It's still that landrace strain. And there are people out there that have those. And
we don't want to lose that.
Yeah, you don't want to lose that, because once it's gone forever.
Right.
Where are you going to get the new seed to start it?
Yeah.
You're not going to know the genetics to rebreed that specific thing ever again.
That's
because
right.
This has been such an underground community that knowledge is lost.
Right.
It's
Sure.
lost.
Sure.
You know?
Well, there's a great deal of value then, as you mentioned, in bringing this above ground, not only for the people that are involved in it, but for the patients that can benefit from it.
Correct.
Well, friends, I want to be respectful of Paul's time here today and let you know that we've enjoyed spending some time with you today. And Paul, I want to thank you very much
Fred, it was an honor.
for being here
Thank
today.
you.
And as you can see, the 420 Ag Report is going to be a show worth watching and probably get juicy, I would guess. So,
Let's not get too crazy. Thanks, everybody.
peace.
Boom. How was that?
That was fabulous.
All right.
I thought it was great. What did you think?
I thought it was
It
just a
flowed.
conversation.
It was just a conversation. It flowed nicely, right?
Exactly. Nothing forced. So I harumphed it a little bit. But hey,
Beautiful.